Brothers, after 3 years, the much-anticipated second season of Lion King Village is finally here. Behind the seemingly picturesque village lies a terrifying rumor of cannibalism. Every year sacrifices are held here, and the offerings are the boys and girls born to the villagers. The god the villagers worship is this 2-meter-tall, strange-looking old man with white eyes. How can the mystery of the monster's origin be solved? What terrible secret is this village hiding? Before explaining the second season, I believe that brothers have forgotten the plot of the first season. Okay, without further ado, let's start the story from the first season and begin our stay. Shuye, the police officer guarding Gonghua village, came to the ancestral home of the Goto family with a nervous look on his face. He kept knocking on the door. Strangely, there was someone in the house, but no one was willing to come out to respond. Someone was even filming Shoyu with a camera. Seeing this, Shoyu was furious because he had just received a tip-off with evidence that the Goto family was cannibalistic. Soon, Shoyu followed the clues and finally found the place where the chicken-skinned child was imprisoned in a cave in the back mountain. But before he could pass on this information, a sickle was extended from behind. When he reacted, it was too late. A few days later, our protagonist, Daigo Akawa, was assigned to Miyahana village with his family. Daigo used to be the most capable detective in the county, but because of his youthful impulsiveness, he often resorted to violence against criminals during law enforcement. In the end, during a rescue operation when his daughter Mashiro was kidnapped, he personally took out the criminal. As a result of the trauma, his daughter developed autism. So Daigo took the initiative to work in the countryside, both to temper his impulsive nature and to help his daughter recover from her autism more quickly. After a long journey, they finally arrived at the village. Unexpectedly, the residents of Gonghua village had been waiting for them for a long time and eagerly helped them unload their luggage and packages. Grateful for the villagers' enthusiasm, Daigo introduced his wife and daughter and expressed his thanks. Then, while Daigo and his wife were unpacking, they discovered books left behind by the previous police officer, Shuya. At this moment, Daigo's wife asked him why Shuya had resigned. Daigo replied that he had heard it was due to gambling, which led to heavy debts, and then he resigned. At this point, Daigo could never have imagined that Shuya. The secret of the Goto family was discovered, and now they are probably in great danger. Soon, it was the next day, the first working day after Dawu took office. The villagers enthusiastically took Dawu to familiarize himself with the entire village, and finally visited the wood factory they were proud of. Gonghua village relies on forestry for its livelihood, which solves the employment problem of the entire village. According to the villagers' description, they not only have enough food and drink, but also have a high happiness index. It is simply a paradise isolated from the world. Just as Dawu was happily chatting with the villagers, the appearance of a person made the villagers immediately afraid. This person was called Ho Teng Huijie. He told Dawu that a body was found in the back mountain. Dawu hurriedly followed Huijie to the scene of the crime. Looking at the incomplete body on the ground, Huijie told Dawu that the deceased was named Ho Teng Yin, the head of the Ho Teng family and the grandmother of him and his younger brother Yang Jie. 3 days ago, the grandmother disappeared and her whereabouts were unknown. At this time, the long-haired man said that she must have been killed by a bear because it was not uncommon for bears to frequently appear in their village. After hearing this, Daogu still found something suspicious on the corpse because the tooth marks on the corpse's arm did not look like those of a bear, but rather human teeth. Huijie explained that his grandmother suffered from Alzheimer's and must have been bitten by himself. Daogu immediately denied this statement, because if she had bitten herself, the angle would have been like this. But the tooth marks could not have appeared on the back of her arm. It was obviously someone else's. Daogu was interrupted by Huijie before he could finish his words. He asked Daogu if they had abused his grandmother. Then the tribesmen immediately became impatient and did not allow Daogu to explain clearly. Huijie led everyone to raise their hunting rifles and point them at the fog. Daogu's heart trembled when he saw this scene. Huijie warned Daogu that he would not tolerate outsiders insulting them. The people of the Goto family should either give him an explanation or let him confess here today. Daogu raised his hands and apologized to Huijie. Seeing Dawu's embarrassed look, the clansmen all burst out laughing. It turned out that Huijie was just joking with Dawu earlier. As a police officer, Dawu felt a bit humiliated and warned Huijie that if it happened again, he would arrest them for obstructing official duties. Afterwards, Huijie told the clansmen to get ready for tomorrow's hunting activity and that there would be a trial meeting tonight, inviting Dawu to join as well. With the misunderstanding cleared up, Dawu had no choice but to agree. That evening, Dawu got ready to go. Leaving his wife and daughter at home, Daigo had just stepped out when he received a call from his boss. His boss told him that they would have forensic experts investigate the bite marks on the corpse and advised Daigo not to get too involved, since the Goto family held significant power in Gonghua village and he was worried that Daigo's impulsive nature might get him into trouble. Afterwards, Daigo went to the sake shop for his appointment. The scene then shifts to his wife, who's busy tidying up the house. After finishing her chores, she lies down to rest and accidentally notices some words carved into the door frame. The words read, "Run away quickly." Seeing this, she feels a bit uneasy and calls out her daughter's name, but gets no response. She rushes over and finds the room open, but her daughter is nowhere to be seen. She quickly runs outside, anxiously calling for her daughter. The scene shifts again. Their daughter, Mashiro, is chasing a cat into the mountains. She finally catches the kitten on a small bridge, but at that moment, a shadowy figure under the bridge catches her attention. The person below seems to notice her as well. Suddenly, a large hand grabs the railing, and the figure finally reveals its true form. This old man with white hair stood over 2 meters tall, his eyes clouded white, and he let out a terrifying hiss. After hearing the roar, Mashiro was not afraid at all. He took out some candy and gave it to the old man. After the old man took the candy, he actually took out a finger from his mouth and looked at him. Yuki kept calling out to his daughter and finally found Mashiro on the small bridge. At this time, the monster old man had left. Seeing that his daughter was safe and sound, Yuki finally let go of his worries. After Daigu returned home, he immediately asked Daigu to read the guest's text. He felt that it was left by the previous police officer. Although he didn't know what happened now, he said that Mashiro had secretly run away again. Fortunately, he found him in time. Daigu heard it and came to Mashiro. The noise in Daigu's room still woke Mashiro up. Shinbai stood up and handed the candy box to Daigo. When Daigo opened it, he was so frightened that he threw it away. When he picked it up, he found a piece of broken paper. He asked his daughter where she found it, but his autistic daughter couldn't speak. To prevent his wife from worrying, Daigo hid the broken paper in his pocket and planned to investigate the matter secretly. The next day, the bear hunt organized by the Goto family officially began. They decided to drive the bear from the foot of the mountain to the ridge, and then use the help of Dai Rabbit to shoot it at the top of the mountain. The plan went as planned. Soon, they found fresh bear feces mixed with white hair. Zuyuan concluded that the bear must have hurt his grandmother. Judging by the footprints, he must be nearby. After receiving the message, Huijie rushed to the ridge, leaving Dawu and Yang Jie as a team. But as soon as the two of them had walked a short distance, they heard movement in the grass not far away. Yang Jie flustered, raised his hunting rifle, and searched around. Seeing Yang Jie's dangerous handling of the gun, Dawu quickly snatched the rifle away from him. But at that moment, Yang Jie stared off into the distance, frozen in place. Before Dawu could get a clear look, a black bear in a frenzy charged straight at him. As he fumbled to raise the rifle, it was already too late. The black bear pounced on Dawu, knocking him to the ground and tearing at him relentlessly. The witch bit the black bear and punched it in the face. Just like the brain oxygen, it only aroused the black bear's aggressiveness. When the black bear was about to deal a fatal blow to the witch, 2 accurate shots from a distance hit the black bear. It turned out that at the critical moment, Yang Jie picked up the hunting rifle and saved the witch. The witch looked at the black bear lying on him, gasping for breath in shock, and then laughed out loud because he had just judged Yang Jie by his appearance. Now Yang Jie's shooting skills made him look at him with new eyes. Afterwards, the tribesmen met at the foot of the mountain and finally found a lens and a fragment in the black bear's stomach. This time, they fought hard to prove that the black bear was the murderer. The witch then used his mobile phone to collect evidence and found that the Goto family had made a complaint against the black bear. They actually cut off the meat and ate it directly. The witch didn't understand these people's behavior. Huijie cut off a piece and gave it to the witch, saying that this was their custom. By eating the bear meat, grandma would turn into their blood and flesh and continue to live in their bodies. This was the best way for them to say goodbye to grandma. He asked the witch to follow the local customs and eat it. The witch had no choice but to eat it. While the tribesmen were not looking, he turned around and spit it out. When it was night, the witch was packed up from the hospital, and on the way back, he was still thinking about what happened during the day. If he met with an accident, what should his wife and daughter do? At this moment, she suddenly received a call from the forensic doctor Nakamura. Nakamura told the witch a piece of news. During the day, she secretly took the finger from the corpse for analysis, and after comparison, found that it actually did not belong to the deceased, Goto Liu, whose finger is it? They said they'd tell Dawu after the test results come out. When Dawu heard this news, he was completely stunned. He had just arrived in Gonghua village and already solved a murder case, but now things seem to be getting even murkier. So, whose severed finger is this really? Keep up with Lao Biao's pace. The next episode is coming soon.